the game we play is always about proving people right and proving people wrong, you know, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'd like to think that the people that were undecided on if I was the right man for the job coming into Leeds have watched me in recent weeks and I've changed their mind.
Hey Dom.
Hiya.
Nice to see you.
Okay,
How
nice
are
to see you as well. I'm very well, you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Shall we go and get a cup of tea?
Of course.
Or a coffee?
Yeah, why not?
Whatever.
Let's go.
Let's talk about Leeds then. Why Leeds? And what was that decision like when you decided to sign for them?
I think it was an interesting time for me, you know, being a free agent, and anything can happen at any moment. Once contact was like initiated, I think it took maybe 5-6 days, and I was a Leeds player.
What was your first impression of Daniel Farke?
Yeah, I had a phone call with him, I think 1 or 2 days before I signed, and he spoke for maybe 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, to me mostly. I was just listening, and his personality came through. You know, I could tell that he was a caring person, he cared about his players, and he was just emphasising how he wanted to get me back to my best level. He explained, you know, what kind of club it was and the size of the club itself and the ambitions of the football club. Got me really excited, to be honest, and then obviously coming in the door, that relationship's just grown and grown and grown, and I think that's what I like. I like to have a relationship with my coach in terms of he's approachable, he's open, and I think he understands people as well, which is an important thing that I like from a manager. You know, he has a human side.
Do you feel like that's what you needed at this point in your career, maybe?
You could say, yeah, you know, you heard the thing about players needing an arm around them, or some players, you know, need shouting at to get the best out of them. Potentially I'm a player that needs a bit of both. And maybe where I was at in my career 6 months ago, he's the type of manager that I needed. I remember, you know, Carlo Ancelotti, when he first came in, put an arm around me, and I mean, I scored a lot of goals under him as well. Yeah, it went well. So maybe the manager, you know, seen that and knew that from afar I was the type of player that he would like to work with, and vice versa, obviously, after that conversation. So whatever his approach has been, it's obviously working.
You scored, I think, 7 goals in 6 games at one point. What do you put that down to?
I would probably say the environment, the manager's faith in me. Like, I love the culture at the club. I think it's a really hard-working, down-to-earth, close-knit environment. There's no egos, and I recognise that straight away, and I think that really aligned with me as a person. So I felt at home very quickly, and I would say feeling comfortable and confident in the environment. And then it took me a little while to get going, but I also didn't have a pre-season, so I knew that I need to get fit and get that match sharpness. And I think once that sharpness has come, you know, you've seen the way it's gone.
Leeds have sort of changed to 2 up top as well, which is a bit old school as well, isn't it? How have you found that? Has it helped you in a way?
Yeah, I think it's got bodies around me more. And, you know, when you are holding the ball up and you are winning flick-ons, it's nice to have bodies around you. So I think it's given me that link and allowed me to link play with players more and get people around me. And perhaps instead of always been the one to run a channel and do the hard bit outside the width of the box, it's allowed me to be in the width of the box a little bit more and focus on scoring goals. Did
that Manchester City game sort of feel like a bit of a turning point?
I think that was a pivotal moment, not only for me personally, but also the team. If you look at the run we've been on, my individual form has coincided with the team's good performances and results.
What did it feel like when you went on that run where you were just scoring in every game? And did it feel like, oh yeah, I'm back to my best?
I guess so. It's a run of games that I've been working towards and being more prolific and more clinical in the box, because that's one of my biggest strengths, one of my biggest assets, you know, the movement in the box and getting chances in the box off the back of the movement, and then you obviously need to put them in the back of the net, which I'm critical of myself, and probably in recent seasons I've not been as clinical as I should have been. So for me, it's always been about striving to get that icing on the cake, which is the goals. So for me, it's just that resilience to keep going.
Do you think you've had to work quite hard on that resilience, or does that come naturally to you?
I think maybe it's something that comes natural. Maybe that's easy for me to say now that I'm in this position, but I think through hardship, you have to learn and you have to grow, and that's just part of life, isn't it? You know, not everything, success is not in a straight line. So for me, I would say now resilience and the belief in myself and my mindset is probably one of my biggest assets, which has led me to be able to produce the kind of form that I'm in this season.
You've played over 70 minutes per appearance for Leeds, which is the most that you've done in your career, I think, since 2021. What can you put that down to?
I would say that it's probably the whole picture, you know, the holistic approach of me, myself, taking care of my body, taking care of my nutrition, putting extra emphasis on recovery and things like that, and just becoming more knowledgeable about all aspects of what it takes to be able to give 100% every week. And then also coming into a club where the sports science staff and the physical staff, they're fantastic in my opinion, and they pay a lot of attention to detail, and they're very open-minded people. It's not like my way or the highway kind of thing. They've allowed me to come in, listen to my side, listen to what works for me and how I can get back to my best physical peak. And I've also been open from my side in listening to what they can advise. You know, they're the professionals, and having that open relationship has been the key, really. And yeah, it's just, you're just always thinking about, how am I recovering? How can I be in best condition for training tomorrow? How's training then affect me the next day? How can I recover? And then tapering up to the game so that you feel as fresh as possible for the game.
When you signed, there was a little bit of negativity perhaps from some of the Leeds fans. How did you cope with that, and did you look at it?
Yeah, it was interesting because I'm not really one for looking at, you know, media and things like that. But when you're free, it's like you've got nothing but time.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of it, to be fair, and I knew that there might be some divide. I saw a lot more positivity than negativity, which was nice for me to see. And I felt that from when I started playing. I could feel that the fan base wanted me to do well, wanted me to succeed, which was a nice feeling. And then it's about, I guess you could say, the game we play is always about proving people right and proving people wrong, you know, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'd like to think that the people that were undecided on if I was the right man for the job coming into Leeds have watched me in recent weeks, and I've changed their mind.
Yeah, I think you probably have. Yeah, I think you probably have.
I think so as well.
Is there a different narrative when you're a free agent signing for a club, do you reckon, when you're out of contract?
There can be. There's two ways to look at it. Like, I think being a free agent it's an interesting position, because you would see someone move for 40 mil or 50 mil, and you kind of left scratching your head a little bit, and you're thinking, what? Well, I don't cost anything. So, and that's just the nature of the beast, isn't it? And one thing you can't do is let your ego take a hit, because this is life. It's like I said, you have to have humility and just understand that everyone's journey is different. And I think if you maintain that belief that what's meant for you won't pass you by, then you can have confidence that the right opportunity will arise.
That's so difficult for you when you're there pre-season, just, I guess, training on your own and just trying to keep yourself feeling positive.
Yeah, I guess so. It was lonely. Thankfully, I had my wife and my daughter. The weather was nice, so I was taking my daughter to the park most days, pushing her on the swing, and that was keeping me busy. But then you'd have moments where you realise what position you're in, and you check your phone and nothing's going on. And it was a strange position to be in, but I wouldn't change anything in my career so far. From being a young age, you know, my dad always used to say, you know, you've had to go the long way around, but you'll get to where you want to get to eventually if you just keep pushing. So that's something that's ingrained in me, regardless of the circumstance.
So that sort of leads us nicely on to the conversation around England. Did you ever think, I guess sort of 2-3 years ago, that you would be in that England World Cup conversation again in your career?
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, please.
Yes, of course.
You?
Yeah. Because not in like in an arrogant way, but like I was talking about before, it's sometimes momentum, circumstances, and belief in yourself that if I can do it once, I can do it again. And all it would take was the right circumstances, and timing is also important. And I believe that I could get back into that conversation. And I also still believed it when I was pushing my daughter on the swing in the summer.
What would it mean for you to get called up and be in that England squad for the World Cup?
It'd mean a lot. It'd mean a lot. In terms of priorities, number one is ensuring that we stay in the Premier League this season. That is number one priority, always has been. So regardless of how many goals I score or whatnot, objective number one from when I signed for Leeds United, that was my goal.
You've got a daughter now who's 2.5. Does that give you an extra bit of motivation? Do you think, if I can make it to the World Cup, then she'd get to see her dad playing in a World Cup? That'd be quite something, wouldn't it?
Yes, it's changed me in so many ways, changed my perspective on life and grounded me as well. I think before my daughter, all I thought about 24/7 was football. And that's not always the healthiest thing when you're going through difficult moments, because it consumes you. And then once my daughter was born, everything kind of changed, and I became a much more balanced person. I guess going back to like the summer and my decision making of what I was going to go and do, and I had the opportunity to go abroad to different places, and there was something in me that was just, I felt that if I was to move abroad now, that was me saying, yeah, okay, I've let circumstances get to me, and I've took the easy way out. A large part of that was me thinking into the future, like when my daughter looks at me, who does she see? You know, and is that someone that was made it to a certain height, and then circumstances got the better of me, and then, you know, that's my story? Or is it something of resilience where I was able to go through difficult times and go through difficult periods and get back on top? So for me, that was a big driver.
It's taken a lot for you to get to this point, hasn't it? And it's nice because you seem very happy and content now.
Yeah, it has, and it's time flies. You know, time goes quick also, and it's been a bit of a roller coaster, and that's why I'm conscious as well. Like when things are going well, people want to speak to you and have conversations, which I will never ever complain about. You know, it means you're doing well. It means you're doing something right. But I'm also conscious now, maybe maybe that's an age thing, that I don't like to speak too soon or to kind of give myself too much credit, because there's still work to be done. And yeah, job's not finished.
Well, best of luck with it.
Thank you very much.
And you're smashing it. Seems like you're enjoying your football.
I am, absolutely.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.